Alright, what's up? I'm here with Goldinchild, and we're going to do a little song-by-song breakdown. Not the old record, but we're going to do the new record, because out with the old, in with the new. But so this first track is called Blame It on the Hip Hop. Hip Hop. Hip Hop. Yeah. Came in the 80s, but born in the 70s. Raised on the radio, Rakim and Eric B, Chuck D and BDP. That was my therapy, blasting in my headphones to hear what they telling me. But apparently, currently, all I ever see is running from these bullies in the hood trying to get at me. Late night scaring me, gunshots and melody. Came up dead last, kinda like the letter Z. And all my neighbors got a felony. And all my teachers do is yell at me. But I don't know where in hell I'd be if Jesus didn't step in and kick the sin out of me. I found a recipe and remedies to rest in peace to every little piece of the older me. Yeah, so when it's over and you bury me, leave the mic in my hand so I died as an MC. My hat's to the left. And what was your? Let's jump into yours because you got a real job and you got to go back to work. What was your inspiration? Your
you had already come by to show me the track, and you had already written like your first bar. Born in the 70s, came in the 80s, and I was like, okay. And then you kind of encapsulated what you kind of grew up on. So mine was like, well, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, and I kind of took the first part of it by how I really listened to a lot of Wu-Tang growing up, and then so I just kind of structured the rest of the verse to kind of sound like one of those classic, 93 to 96 Wu-Tang verses.
So how influential was that era for you?
Pretty much extremely influential. I mean, they weren't all I listened to, but I always liked the more rugged hip-hop. I think the most smooth hip-hop I got into then was like Tribe and De La. But,
You seem to be very angry at Studio Thugs. This is whoops. Satan just showed up in my air conditioner.
AC broke?
Yeah, no, it's the fan. Guess we'll be doing this au naturel. But you seem to be very angry at fake studio rappers.
When I go, how's it go?
You say, claim you got game, son, I got skill.
Before you pop still, when you cop that deal, you was not real and my crew does not feel these studio thugs because the block is too real. The main reason I say that is me and some of the guys that I roll with, we do a lot of like juvenile ministry in the detention centers. And I get upset because I see these kids locked up buying into the lies that are sold to them through studio thugs. Like, I'm not doubting some of these guys did what they say, but they're definitely not doing it now. And they're glorifying it, and these kids are acting it out. And that's my aggression towards that.
It's good. It makes sense. Let's go ahead and jump into the next song, Clap It Up.
Yo, clap it up. Yo, so here's a few rhyme schemes for the rhyme fiends. Die daily so the flesh is a crime scene. He won't fail me, I'm blessed now that I seen more eyes get open than 30 bottles of the Visine. Yeah, I'm no dirty, but I rhyme clean. Plus I look 30 but move like I'm 19. Pick up the mic to proclaim about and I'm my king. I'm same dude, same crew since the 9-3. You on the internet taking shots at my team. Log off, take the plank out your I-beam. You can't see, man, you lost in the high beam. Especially theology's probably worse than your hygiene. Why me? I'm a crime fiend, yet you save me, you provide for my dreams. Man, it's crazy, you provide for my peace. And I'm amazed where I came from, since I'm free. If you living for the king, clap it up. If you like truly free.
So I wrote a new verse for this, but this was actually a pretty old song. It was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And we got a new beat, and you did your old verse.
Mm-hmm. That never was released.
That was never released, yeah. So this was supposed to be on Mental, I think. That was around the Mental era.
Yeah.
But what you say in your verse, you say, this song is just kind of a rapping for the sake of rapping type song in a lot of ways. And that Selah verse is actually from that same original track, and I just picked it up and flew it onto this new one. That's pretty dope if you think that you can fly a verse from 4 years ago.
And it's still dope.
And it still sounds good. So shout out to my man Selah. But you said, I spit for the truth, so hold your applause, fam.
Honestly, I don't know if I got fans. Christ is the way, and he teach me how to walk, fam. Banging them beats ever since I had a walk, man. Headphone bumping that sound of the God, man. Like, honestly, I know I have fans, but the whole point of that phrase was, that's not, I don't really do it. I do it to kind of reflect my walk with Jesus more than, you know what I mean?
But did you feel like when you wrote it 4 years ago, were you down on yourself a little bit? Like, do you feel like...
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think maybe when I originally wrote it 4 years ago, like, yeah, maybe I didn't, back then I was like, man, I don't even know if I got fans anymore. That's probably a good point. Good observation. I didn't think...
All right, let's jump into the third track. Third track was I'm Good.
All right, guys, come on. Get your backpack. Okay. All right, bud. Come on, let's go. Yeah, out the door. It's time to go. Come on. Where is your shoes? Right there.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, bye, babe. I love you.
My alarm start going off at 5:45. I can barely open up my eyes, hit the stools a couple times. Hear my kids in the kitchen, fixing bowls of Cheerios. 45 minutes till we hit the road. Let the baby sleep until we about to leave. Change the diaper and put her in the car seat. To Diana, Aiden, Malachi, and Leia J. All I gotta say is daddy loves you more every day. Me and Kay got that rap dad swag. Minivan rap sound checking with a diaper bag. Cats be like, ain't you almost 40 now? How you still gonna call yourself the golden child? With a wife, a 4-bedroom house and 3 shorties now. But you'll know I'm still nice with that freestyle. Meanwhile, still learning how to be your dad. Baby, on my arms banging beats on them drum pads.
When they ask me how I'm living, say, yeah, I'm good. And it's only cause he risen, K. Yeah, I'm good. Now in case you forgot to mention, well, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you know I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Might be going through my stress, but yeah, I'm good. Every day I'm so blessed, but yeah, I'm good. So I ain't worried about the rest, cause yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you know I'm good. Now.
This probably is my favorite song off the record. It's my favorite song. It's not my favorite verse that I did, but it's definitely my favorite song. I love your verse. So you wrote this on the spot. I found it interesting is that so often when we were getting ready to put this project together, half the time it was either my kids screaming in the background or your kids.
My kids screaming in the background, yeah. Or motorcycles screaming in the background.
Or a motorcycle screaming in the background. This is the reality of...
Yeah.
But did we originally have this as a concept, like what it's like to be a grown-up with kids and a job and do hip-hop? Did we talk about that, or did this kind of happen while we were...
We'd always joked about doing a song about it. And actually, when I say at the end of my verse, rap dad swag, sound checking with a diaper bag, that's a real story. And that was the day we joked about it.
Right.
Because I was on stage sound checking with you, holding my daughter in my arm with the diaper bag on my shoulder.
I definitely remember that visual.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I had the original idea, because the song I originally called it was like A Day in the Life.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what my original hook was, but I think you suggested, you're like, nah, why don't you say it's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, because it is kind of like a statement to be like, you know, it's a multifaceted kind of statement. You know what I mean? Like, it's a slang, but it's also a true, you can take it literally. You can also say it kind of hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love lines that work on many levels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's jump into the fourth track. This joint, Not Really.
Now you never get old if the flow stays timeless. This is the utmost now for his highness. He is the plus though to all of my minus. Hope I touch souls like a brush and a stylus. So when a bus flows, I hope that the rhyme is like a punch through the nose, burns a hole in your sinus. And then it goes and takes the crust out your eyelids and hits you like a tidal wave to crush all your islands. Yeah, plus they rush into violence. So me and GC, we like Paul into Silas. Yup, been gone a whole lot of timing, and I ain't even old, I just got a whole lot of mileage. Cue up the violence while I survey the landscape. I ain't even worried what your man say. Man makes plans, but man makes the plans break. That's why most of y'all ain't even worth my handshake. I had to learn to make the plans wait, then crack it open like a clam bake. So even if I'm older than my fan base, all of this is gone, ain't nothing of it man-made.
Oh, you got a big car?
Nah, man, not really.
Oh, you're a big star?
Nah, man, not really.
You
You do a lot of drugs?
Nah, man, not really.
Bet you pack a lot of guns?
Nah, man, not really.
Oh, you got a big car?
Nah, man, not really.
Oh, you're a big star?
Nah, man, not really.
You do a lot of drugs?
Nah, man, not really.
Bet you pack a lot of guns?
Nah, man, not really.
I asked him what you want a verse about. He said he wanted murder. Massacre the instrumental to your name.
Featuring my man B. Cooper. Did you use an old verse for this one?
Parts of an old verse, but some of it's new.
How's your first line go?
Man, hold it. The microphone's a pulpit now. Gold is back. Competition start folding.
I feel like that line, is that from a really old song?
Really, like 10 years ago.
Because I remember
The fourth bar from a verse 10 years ago.
that you put out on something else?
No, we recorded it, but it never came out.
Yeah, because I remembered that line.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to remember the beat that you had it on originally. So this is another one where...
I was going through my rap books.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes you just want to find inspiration. Like, okay, well, I like this fourth bar. Let me start this rap with this bar from this rap.
So this one's, again, kind of like rapidy rap for the sake of the rapidy raps. I wrote a new verse. I wrote a lot of these verses at the skate park watching my kid scooter around. No, it's not very hip-hop to say that, but... and it's just, I don't know, I like the idea of the chorus, like, you know, because I always notice, like, when you're around a bunch of kids or you're around people in the genre, are they late? No? Oh, okay. They'll be like, yo, man, you got a big car, right? Like, it's automatically assumed if you rap, you have these things.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do you respond to that as a believer? Like, nah, not really. Like, you hear it so often, you almost get a little sarcastic. Like, no, not really. You know, you don't want to just be like, no, I don't have a gun.
But that's also why at the end of my verse I go, and right about now, man, I'm half past broke. Like, kind of to fly in the face of...
That's an old line too, right?
Possibly.
I feel like I remember you saying that some other time too.
That's just something I say as a joke sometimes.
Oh, you do?
So, yeah.
I'm half past
Half
broke.
past broke.
Is that like half past 7:30? Wait, how do you go half past broke? You hit broke. I don't know if you can go.
Broke
is where you owe money.
Half past broke is right before poverty. when you're fully past broke, then you're in poverty.
Like, where is there a ruler? Is this a metric system? Is it foot by the foot? Is that how you? Anyway, all right, moving on. Next track, that was not really. Next track is Grind.
Hey yo, I'm on a lonely walk trying to be Tony Hawk. Skating past the little spot where my homie fought. Asked my parents for the sneaks that my homie got, but we barely speak at all. I ain't home a lot, cause every hour, every week I just roll the block. Little skate rat, got $1 in my only sock. Skate back to the store for a soda pop. I'm in the mall food court with my friends a lot. Sneaking out at night, sometimes we getting caught. Speeding on my bike, look up and down the block. I call this girl I like, I think she kinda hot, but will she call me back? That's my only thought. Wrong place, wrong time, almost got me shot by a cop rolling by at the dealer shop. But I skate away, I'm never getting caught. Watch it fade to gray, and this I was on grind. You can find me all the time. And I was on my grind. You can find me all the time.
This also was an old song from like 4 years ago. Like, literally, this is the exact same beat.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to use it.
I'm glad we did too. I had always sat on this and I was like, where am I gonna put this out? And I put it out a few times as a demo, but I never actually like mixed it. And you mixed it, actually did a great job on the mix. So I think it was, you know, we both come from a skate background. You way more than me.
Yeah.
You know, I started skating maybe 87, lasted to about 88, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that era of skateboarding. You know, the late 80s.
Yeah.
Seems like that's almost when skateboarding really came into its own.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of phased out of it because I thought I'd be much cooler as a jock, which I wasn't very good at either. But, you know, for me, hip-hop picks up like right when my skateboarding ends.
Yeah.
But you were the opposite. You were like simultaneously doing both.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, as I remember you when I first met you when you were 13, You were I was like, Midnight Sun, oh, here we go. This kid's in like triple X tees, 5 size 38 pants.
Yep.
But what did skateboarding mean to you back then?
I mean, in the verse I kind of talk about it because at first, like, skateboarding was really punk rock, but around the time I got into it, it was more shifting towards accepting hip-hop culture. And, you know, it's kind of cool. I got to tell that story, and then the HC did that. But one thing I really like is if you listen halfway through my verse, I kind of talk about stuff, but I name almost 20 skateboard brands.
Right. I love that wordplay. I don't think people will catch it because those are 90s skate brands, right?
90 skate brands.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned Blind and Real and World Industries. Spitfire was a brand. I throw Vision in there. It's like girl skateboards, so girls in there. When I said chasing
Blind
girls,
Chasing Girls.
I was Blind Chasing Girls. Had to exit the World Industry or something like that. But yeah, man, if you listen to it, you'll hear all those brands, and they're definitely skate brands. And that's why when you ask me, hey, write this verse on a skateboard, I was like, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
Because I was finally able to do that.
That's your point.
Possibly.
Do you need to go check?
No, let's just finish this up.
All right, last 2 songs we'll go through real quick. Barbershop Talk, which is quite ironic that we're literally sitting in the parking lot of the barbershop.
Yeah.
So this song came about... One Shot, One Click, sorry.
Shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4, 5 shot, 6 shot, 7 shot, pour. Face on the ground, face down on the floor. Said I was here, now you back now for more. You like 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4, 5 shot, 6 shot, 7 shot, pour. Face on the ground, face down on the floor. Said I was here, but now you back now for more. Yeah. Now hate what you do to them. Hate how you took my friends and turned them into hooligans. Hate how you ruined them. Nothing I could do for them. They called you many names, but that was just a pseudonym. Nobody clued them in. They was never listening. Red eye, pale skin, body shake, twitching in. Dead eye, pale face, sweaty skin, glistening. Fell straight headlong to the spell you put on them. Another sip, another hit into the grip of sin. Take another trip and drift away and come back again. You ride the wave to the grave till it's crashing in. Life is a game, plus a gift, but don't cash it in. The ropes around your neck, man, I see it tightening. Chains around your leg, man, I see you fighting it. You're like the Walking Dead, every single night in them. Pray you find some life in him, not before the light is dim. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4, 5 shot, 6 shot, 7 shot, pour. Face on the ground, face down on the floor. Said I was here, now you back now for more. You like 1 shot.
Jumped ahead. So 1 Shot, One Click was for me, that was me talking about some people I knew that were addicted, and you got very personal.
Yeah, actually that was a very therapeutic, I get emotional right now, very therapeutic. It's probably my favorite verse on the record, right next to the verse about my kids. Yeah. But I actually, in recording it, I actually had to have my wife come in and pray over me because I was so emotional. I couldn't really get through the verse. And just in case anyone wonders, I didn't write that without my wife knowing my struggle. Like, it's not like she's going to hear the record and be like, oh my gosh. Right. It's something we've worked out in the last, few years of our marriage. And it's just, I really enjoy that verse a lot.
Well, the thing I think is important that, like, as artists, you show all aspects of what you go through. You know what I mean? There's power in transparency, no question.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on to Barbershop Talk.
And now I'm going to the barbershop, rolling through the parking lot, trying to find a parking spot, hopping out a parking walk. Hoodie on my head, got me looking kinda hard to spot. When I'm walking down the block, the lady wanna call the cops. Wanna pass these dudes, all they do is push the rock. The packs they move, got them twisted like the hardest knot. But for the moment I need a trim right up off the top, edge up on the back, and a fade on the sides I got. I wanna pass these cats, they wanna call the shots. I know they keep a little something tucked up in their sock. I'm working at the church right up at the farthest block. Seen the worst of the verse, but really I ain't gonna stop. Thought occurs to me, need a cut, start to walk. Seen this dude, I say what up. Then I saw the nod. He's acting kinda rude, but really I just blew it off. Got no time for attitude, I'm finally all up in the spot. What up? Nothing. Now how you living, cousin? Hey yo, what's good up in the spot? Why don't you tell me something? He said steady cutting, just while they steady fronting. Another day, another dollar. dollar while I'm steady hustling. I said, what up? Nothing. Now how you living, cousin? Hey yo, what's good up in the spot? Why don't you tell me something? He said, steady cutting, just while they steady fronting. Another day, another dollar while I'm steady hustling. Now, you see I'm popping in, walking in, sitting down. Just another average hood spot, bad's out of town. I'm only white boy in the spot, so I don't make a sound. One guy on the Xbox, the other dude is talking loud. Yeah, he makes a move and then he starts to clown. The other dude takes it to the hoop and then he breaks him down. I'm staring at these dudes, waiting for it to settle down. Looking at these grooves up in the roof, these people hang around. Then
tell your moms we drop bombs on these prima donnas. Ain't no rock stars that wanna hear you scream and holler. Hip hop
Which I
scholars.
jumped ahead too far, but we're literally sitting in the parking lot of the barbershop. So my original impetus of this song was an original song I wrote like 3-4 years ago. Was about me going into a barbershop, kind of based on a true story and the things that kind of took place in that barbershop when I was walking and da-da-da-da. But I never finished it. And so when we did the contest that you could appear on the album, I was like, where are we going to put these two guys? That being Juke and Juke, I forget, I always say his name wrong again, and my man Rudy, aka Izzy Sirius. So we said, why don't they be the other two guys in the barbershop? And you've been a full-time barber for quite a while.
Yeah.
And you mixed this song, and my man Rubox did the beatbox. And so what do you think about this track? I mean, obviously you're just kind of spitting on the song, but
kind of that cypher vibe. But I thought it was pretty dope follow-up to the fact that you know, in the documentary, the whole portion that I'm in takes place in the barbershop I work in. So I thought it was a pretty cool tie into that.
Yeah.
So
the final track was What If?
Sure, I come quickly. Amen. And now here's the last prayer in the Bible.
now, who am I? I'm just the spikes in the thorn bush that the soldiers picked up now as if to push into a crown as they headed out to center rush to push it down upon his skull as they went to shove him in the crowd as I went down just to cut the top of his head as the blood now began to gush. Hit him on the side, hit him in the gut with their fists in a spike now plus a club. Yeah, and as they hit him with the fisticuffs, they look up in his eyes, well it was only love. Looking to the side as they went to pick him up, as he cried in a voice to the sky above, Father forgive him now, just for what they done. But almost like that was just not enough. They took the cross then, they made him pick it up, as the crowd screaming out now for his blood. What if, well you were standing in the spotlight, what if them crown of thorns they could talk then? What if, man you could see him on the cross then? What would they say? What would they say? If you were standing in the spot then? What if, you could see him on the cross when? What if these crown of thorns they could talk, man? Well, what would they say? What would they say?
Iron ore, forged by the hands of man, the same hands of man.
This was a song I had been sitting around as a demo for quite a couple years, and we kind of updated it with a new beat. You were on the original version.
But I re-rapped my verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we kind of did it with a new beat. But the funny thing
I
was...
re-rapped all my verses except Grind, right? Grind was only when we flew the vocal.
Right, exactly. Yep. And the thing was that vocal piece that comes in the beginning and the end, that's Adrian Rogers. That's the guy who led me to Christ through the radio. That's the original tape that I had. I found it in a garage in my storage unit, and I was just popped it in. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I forgot that I used to tape all his messages. And but the idea is that it comes from the perspective of the crown of thorns for me and the cross. The nails. You come from that perspective.
Yeah, so you did the crown of thorns, and I did the nail, and I like that verse too. It was really, I don't know, I like
a lot of word picture.
A lot of word, yeah, a lot of metaphor, and I like how it paints a visual. It's really cool. It's a dope concept too.
Which I always thought this was interesting because, you know, the last song we did on Sons of Intellect and Disciple Comprehensions all the way back in 1997 was the conceptual idea of the father and the son having a conversation.
Yeah.
So I always like conceptual, creative kind of ideas, and I thought it was interesting to kind of end again with something that's...
ended it with a similar...
Yeah, so you're using personification with an inanimate object, and yeah. Any? Are you people here? No. Okay. So anything else we could drop in there that you want to say about the project? What'd you think about it? You happy with it?
I am. I'm excited to see what it does. I'm thankful for everyone that supported, and I hope you guys like it. You know, like some serious subject matter, some fun subject matter, but you know, I think it's basically encapsulate that mid to late '90s hip hop sound. That we
But it feels like an update
Yeah, it does.
simultaneously. And I played both projects back to back, and it's, I mean, one, your voice is so
different, yeah.
high on my voice is different.
I was 16, you know.
I know, it's just crazy to think that you can come back. So 21 years from now, we got to do another. I don't know. I would be, dear Lord, I'd be 60. I would be 64 years old.
I'd be 58.
Yeah, that's
If
just.
we're still rapping at 58 and 64, that's.
But
maybe we will be.
who knows?
Rolling Stones are still, you know.
Well, Keith Richards looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, but hey, he's still playing that guitar.
All right, man. Well, hope you guys dug it. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.